So we're here to visit the grave of Harry Houdini. It's a great escape artist. And Harry Houdini began his magic career in 1891, but had little success. He appeared in the 10th act with strongman Emil Jarrow. He performed in dime museums and sideshows, and even doubled as the wild man at a circus. Houdini focused initially on traditional card tricks. At one point, he billed himself as the king of cards. Some, but not all, professional magicians would come to regard Houdini as a competent but not particularly skilled sleight of hand artist, lacking the grace and finesse, required to be excellent in that craft. So, because of that, all the criticisms that he received, he soon decided to try his hand in escape acts. In 1894, while performing with his brother Dash Theodore at the Coney Island, as the brothers Houdini met a fellow performer named Bess. Bess was initially courted by Dash, but she and Houdini married, with Bess replacing Dash in the act, which became known as the Houdinis. For the rest of Houdini's performing career, Bess worked as his stage assistant. Houdini's big break, came in 1899 when he met manager Martin Beck in St. Paul, Minnesota, and he was impressed by Houdini's handcuff tricks. Beck advised him to concentrate on escape acts and booked him on a vaudeville circuit, kind of a vaudeville circuit. Within months, he was performing at the top of the vaudeville houses in the country. In 1890, actually it was, I think, around 1900. Yeah, it was around 1900, I think, at that time, right? Yeah, I think it was 1900. Houdini started touring Europe. After some days of unsuccessful interviews in London, his show soon eventually became a success. His salary rose to $300 a week. Between 1900 and 1920, he appeared in theaters all over Great Britain, performing escape acts, outdoor stunts, card tricks, illusions. He became one of the world's highest paid entertainers. In each city, right, Houdini would challenge, as you can see the handcuffs there, Houdini would challenge the police to restrain him with shackles and lock him in their jails. In many of his escapes, he was first stripped nude and searched. In Moscow, he escaped from a Siberian prison transport van, claiming that had he been unable to free himself, he would have had to travel to Siberia, where the only key was kept. He also introduced the Chinese water torture cell in 1912, in which he would be suspended upside down in a locked glass and steel cabinet full to overflowing with water, holding his breath for more than 3 minutes. He would go on performing this escape for the rest of his life. You also have Houdini and Genie, the Vanishing Elephant, which was a popular act as well. His straitjacket escape is memorable as well. The Daily Mirror Challenge. Milk Can Escape Challenge. The milk can escape. In this act, Houdini was handcuffed and sealed inside an oversized milk can filled with water and made his escape behind a curtain. As part of the effect, Houdini invited members of the audience to hold their breath along with him while he was inside the can. Advertised with dramatic posters that proclaimed failure means a drowning death, the escape proved to be a sensation. You have the suspended straitjacket escape, like I mentioned to you guys. The buried alive stuff also as well. In 1926, he remained in a sealed casket or coffin submerged in the swimming pool of New York's Hotel Shelton for 1.5 hours. How about that? Claimed he didn't use any trickery, just controlled breathing. Houdini actually died on Halloween in 1926. Ruptured appendix. They're saying apparently that his death was caused by. So they said that his death was caused by Jocelyn Gordon, who apparently repeatedly was striking Houdini's abdomen, but that never really came much of anything. Because of the relationship between the blunt trauma and appendicitis is uncertain. So because of the appendicitis, and the blunt to the trauma, they think that he might have been aware of his appendicitis had he not been hit, in the abdomen. So as he was getting sick, he thought that, it really was, because I suffered a blow into my abdomen and not appendicitis, and fortunately that's what caused him to die from appendicitis. So after taking statements, Houdini's insurance company later on concluded that the death was due to a dressing room incident, and he got paid, the family, as far as insurance. And this is his family too. So his wife, really, because she is not Jewish, is not able to be buried here. She's actually buried somewhere else in New York, not too far away, in Westchester County. Just a better site of the grave. So there's the bus. So his wife, it was because she's was not Jewish, like I said, was not able to be buried here, or they wouldn't. The family wouldn't allow it, and they are buried. She's buried elsewhere. For years, she would try to do kind of seances to try to reach Houdini, and she was unsuccessful. I think she continued doing it for 10 years. The if you look around, this is pretty upkept. Well, the reason why it's upkept, that there's a group that continues to upkeep it. It's like a magician society. I don't know the exact name, but I believe it's like a magicianal society that upkeeps it to this day. Grave. Here in eternal peace slumbers our darling mother, Miss Weiss, who entered her everlasting sleep in 1913, July 7th, as pure and sweet as the day she was born, June 16th, 1841. Sacred to the memory of our dearly beloved husband and father, Reverend Mayor Samuel Weiss, rabbi and teacher in Israel, born 1829, died 1892. That was the brother of Harry Houdini, who was also a magician, and a lot of people, you would think that there was a rivalry between them, because he was also a magician, escape artist, and actually not. He kind of spearheaded a lot of the memorials for his brother, and the upkeep, and keeping his legacy alive. So they actually loved each other immensely. The inscription reads, "He went about doing good. We miss you dearly." There goes my reading. He went about doing good. We miss you, dear. Houdini Weiss, obviously Houdini's real name was Weiss. Houdini was a stage name. One last look. You see a key, rock, spoon, locks. What's going on YouTube? This is Grez. All as well. Find myself in Glendale, Queens, border of Brooklyn. In the match plea You know what, I'm actually, my pronunciation is horrible. This cemetery is actually filled to capacity. Some say that it's actually even abandoned at this point. There's no actual physical office here anymore, and it's just rather gates are always open. You have a general view of how it looks. Grass is kind of unkept. It's a Jewish cemetery from what I could gather. It's the grave of, it's a site of the grave of Harry Houdini, which you, depending on how I edited this video, this is, you might have already seen the grave of Harry Houdini. I'm just giving you a tour of this grave cemetery. Yeah, I don't think it's upkept at all. I don't know if it's a tradition, but it seems like people that you know, had families here are not even around anymore either. Forgotten. See no flowers, rocks. I don't know if it's allowed to leave flowers. I don't know if that's allowed. If that's frowned upon with certain religions. that's sad to see when, you know, cemeteries are abandoned and no longer upkeep. Though there was someone here as early as 2009, as late as 2009 and 2001. I think everything here has ceased operation in 2013. I think the main office was closed. You wonder, where did these family members go all these generations later? Have they forgotten? Have they all passed away? One. Let's see. Looks like it. So as I leave you, this is also very close to, right next door to Cypress Hill Cemetery, which has a lot of famous burials as well. So this cemetery is spelled Machpelah Cemetery in Glendale, Queens. I know I probably butchered it at the beginning there. Wow. A man, many talents, and I'm sure of inspiration to a generation of people in his craft.